We are going to step into the digital era for real here very soon.
Well, and okay, so people don't understand how fast it's happening too. It's like whether you want to believe it or not, the adoption rate of this, the speed of this is twice the speed of the internet, and that was the fastest thing to ever happen to us, right?
Biggs and Bogs.
A fucking hard dad joke.
Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to your future Hamlet Biggs and Bogs. I'm Marty Boggs.
And I'm Julian Biggs.
We got Spencer on sound screens.
Spencer!
Thanks for joining us today, folks. Very epic, big episode coming for you today, so make sure you smash that like button. And let's get right into it. What are we up to today? And how can we plan for tomorrow? Julian.
Thanks, Marty. Happy to be back. We are going to talk about the Elon and Twitter acquisition here a little bit, Web3 development on blockchain, and how it's all going to be connected with social media.
And push mass adoption.
Yeah, of...
Everything.
Exactly, everything. But crypto is kind of intertwined with this, so we're going to talk about that, but we're going to get into it with a little bit of a market scope here first.
Market scope.
Okay, so I'm looking at the weekly. Again, I've just been looking at the weekly here because we are still kind of just floating in this 19 to 20 to 18, just bouncing around here, moving sideways in the range. Not much has changed. The markets, again, a little bit of a dip this morning on the New York Stock Exchange, things like that. So we obviously saw that kind of correlate with Bitcoin down to 19.1, I think it was this morning, back up to 19.245 the time of filming this video, and still kind of in the lower range of this RSI here, and not much happening, not much changing at this point. So, I do believe that we could see some upwards price action before the end of the year because people are going to have to take profits one way or another, and it doesn't seem to be dropping much more. So we could see a flash crash, maybe a quick wick to the downside before a move up, but I'm thinking maybe that 24 range again before the end of the year, but who knows? I don't know.
Well, let's see. Like a lot of people are saying November, so if they're saying mid to late November flash crash and then start going up again because people need to take profits for what? That thing at the end of the year that everybody spends
Christmas
for, right? So all this stuff happens every single year, and when you continue to watch it for a decade at a time, you start to realize the patterns that happen, okay? So this is a very good, and this has happened in cycles before. November tends to be that last flash crash and or bottom. Sometimes it's not even the bottom because the flash crash doesn't actually go lower than the original initial.
October did 40% to the upside last year.
Okay, so there you go. So that's a relief rally.
Right.
So we'll have a relief rally and then a nice, hopefully, maybe a flash crash.
So 40%, that would take us to what, 28,000?
Yeah, any sort of relief rally that we get right now is actually quite amazing because the DXY is continuously going up too, right? So that's another thing that we have to remember. We're maintaining sideways momentum in a market where the DXY, the US dollar strength index is literally just skyrocketing because of their raising in interest rates, which makes the dollar more expensive to have. So in turn makes it stronger. So if any asset is going sideways while the dollar is going straight up, it's basically still going up. You just imagine if the dollar starts going straight, what it's going to do, right? So, or down. We see the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and all the other big stock exchanges, whatever, going down in this bull run for the dollar. But we see Bitcoin going sideways. Pretty nuts stuff, honestly. Very good time to DCA, and honestly leads me to believe that we're not going to see too much lower prices because there is quite a bit of support at these levels with the dollar strengthening by the week. So it's pretty nuts.
And really, like I said, so the housing market kind of rolls over right now. Interest rates are at a high. Housing purchases aren't at, they're kind of like leveled out, right? So it's only going to go until they have to print more money or until they have to lower the interest rates in order to pick the markets back up again, right? So like you said, there's not that much more room to go down.
No.
And as soon as the interest rates go down, the markets will turn around. As soon as they get back on the money,
as soon as people can borrow money
again,
cheap, they'll spend it.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in December because everybody spends in December regardless, right?
And the narrative too now, like if you start to look around, there's a lot of stuff about you see like the Kathy Woods and the Kevin O'Leary post and all this stuff that's like, you know, you don't want to miss what's coming, or Raul there and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, well, everyone, the flash crash, everything's going down, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's exactly what.
But they also are saying a tsunami comes right after that, right? So.
Yeah, so that's why we're DCAing in this nice little bottom, this range here, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and,
perfect place to be DCAing and stacking your bags right now. But paying attention to what's going on, and the reason why we're stacking our bags is because mass adoption is coming. And with this Elon Twitter, Web3 social media integration all-in-one app that he's talking about. Basically, he's buying Twitter to turn it into the all-in-one app. And his plan, if the Twitter thing didn't work out, was to make his own app. But he may as well just go and attack the next biggest fish in the pond if he wants to be, if he wants to be the leader, because he is going to be, now you're going to have Elon versus Zuckerberg. Right, Musk versus Berg.
Two mad scientists just going at it.
Right, and this is actually going to be one of the biggest fights, if not the biggest fight.
And people need to realize that, like, you might not like Zuckerberg or whatever, but you use his apps. You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram.
This is for the control of people.
It really is, and this kind of control through social media, whether you want to believe it's control or not, but you can steer consumerism and news and all these things,
whatever they want,
whatever you want, exactly.
What
right?
do you do first thing you wake up in the morning? You don't even lift your head up. You reach over,
you
grab your phone. First thing you do, you don't even lift your head off your pillow before you grab your phone. Think about it.
Give me that dopamine.
Instantly,
give me that dopamine.
You're instantly having ideas put in your head. Instantly.
Yeah.
And that's actually probably the worst time to have it too, because when you're waking up, your brain's starting to go, it's like really looking to absorb any information, what's the weather like outside and all this sort of stuff, right?
Lemon water.
Right? When you wake up in the morning, your brain is very, very active to try and figure out what's going to happen throughout the day. Because think about it, and when people were cavemen, you wake up in the morning, am I freezing? Am I going to die today?
Yeah.
Like, your brain is really, really looking for stuff in the morning. So,
make your bed.
So
make your bed before.
But just think about that, right? That's how they're going to use these tactics to not control, but sort of persuade you into voting for them or standing behind them, or however you want to say it, being on their side.
He who controls the algorithm.
And so, but the thing is with Elon and Twitter, he is now potentially working with CZ or trying to work with CZ from Binance.
So CZ is the CEO and founder of Binance, the basically the main trading app, and
crypto exchange.
Crypto exchange is kind of centralized and the giant of all trading platforms. So it's kind of a big deal, and what people need to understand actually. So if whether you think Mark Zuckerberg is evil, or maybe you think that Elon's a sociopath too, and he's just trying to control the world or whatever, but the reality with Web3 and blockchain is that it's 100% like. It's
transparent.
You can't be on that blockchain without just being who you are. So if there's false accounts or bots
so
or
Twitter
scammers
bots,
or any of
Twitter
that.
bots on Twitter right now just look like regular people. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, and people are getting scammed left, right, and center.
Anything that's on a blockchain, Web3 technology, any sort of app that's run on a blockchain, you know exactly who you're dealing with. If there's a bot, it'll say bot. Mm-hmm. There's no way for them to get away from that. Mm-hmm. So it's going to change everything.
And if it is connected to crypto, it's as simple as making one Satoshi transaction on Twitter.
Exactly. As soon as you make a transaction, as soon as you use it once, it knows exactly where, why, what, when, everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And which is not a bad thing. People need to realize that
it's scary. People think it's
scary, but this is really for the people in my opinion.
It's making people held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
Nobody can scam you anymore.
And if you're not a Twitter scammer,
you're using the internet every single day. Why not have it be a perfectly secure and transparent place to use? Yeah. Right? That's what you want. Of course, they don't. You may think differently, and that may be because somebody may have put some ideas in your mind, right? Because obviously there's other people that really don't want this because they've been using other tactics aside from internet to control people.
Yeah, but you're conditioned to rely on and depend on and trust your government.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, there you go.
And really, if you go back however far it goes back to whatever industry, if you want to say it's. But basically, it's animal agriculture, right? Like whoever controls a food source is who you're controlled by.
Whoever controls people's main needs.
The dairy, subsidized dairy industry and the poultry industry and all those fucking massive big corporations and shit like that have kind of steered the direction.
Government.
Yeah, and we rely on that because there are our source of everything, really, at the end of the day, right? So it's hard for us to kind of believe that something like this is really for us when it's like, oh, it's going to want all my identity and all this. And it's like, no, it just wants to be sure that you're you, so that a person like yourself doesn't get fucked over by someone who's just
honestly,
on their scamming.
Anytime
right?
you win, that makes, like, it's whatever, you hit a lottery, it's because there's going to be lotteries, there's sports betting, there's all this sorts of stuff on the blockchain. Anytime you win, there's no way you can lose that coin. Like, there's, if you're betting in bets or with scalpers and stuff like that, the guy's like, you win a $500 bet, the guy just goes, you know what, buddy, me and my 3 other buddies say that you're out of here. You don't get that money, get out of here, right? Like that, like when you're on the internet, if you win, if you're on the blockchain, it's transaction done digitally. Computers say this guy did it. It is what it is, and you walk away with the win. So it comes both ways, right? Like if you're scared about all that sort of stuff, just think about it that way. Like if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. What it is what it is, and nothing else. You can't be, like we've talked about it before, right? The blockchain technology. It doesn't know whether it's a 6 or a 9. It knows exactly that it's a 6. That's all it is. It's there's no emotion. There's no driven emotion behind it. It's all logic, right? It's all 100% AI, which is kind of scary at the same time, but it's inevitable. We've come too far. You can't be scared of it now. You can't, unless you're going to go move out in the bush. You're not watching this. If you're going to go do that, if you're watching this, you use the internet pretty much every minute of every day, if not all the time.
Sorry, I just wanted to pull up the DXY for a sec because I was curious, but yeah.
So make sure you know something about 13. It. Educate yourself, because it's what's coming, and it's what's coming faster than I think a lot of people think. A lot of people are thinking like, 2030 or so. It's like, that's only 7 years away. And honestly, like if it's coming to, if a lot of people are saying general public by 2030, then that means that they're already using it, elsewhere higher up, right? That the pawns get it last.
Oh yeah. And and just look at the percentage of what the US government and different governments are scooping up already. You can see.
Oh yeah, they're scooping up Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, you can see their involvement in what they're doing and the different networks that they're using for their own benefits, right? So I don't know. Yeah, people can believe it or
it's clear as day what's going to happen, basically.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at this. This is the DXY, just like the US dollar is just like off to the moon right now. $1.13 this morning. Crazy.
Yeah, and everything's,
it's like it doesn't have much more room to go. Like it's at the top of its deal here.
Well, like we showed my line last time, I think 115.
And if you look at this RSI, we got
we're already making lower highs.
Yeah.
So it's basically running out of steam unless it continues to go sideways for a bit. If we go sideways for a bit and the RSIs get some time to reload, then we might see higher prices. But on the short term, like over the next couple months, I don't think it's going to go too much higher.
No, can't.
And if it does, that's pure manipulation. And like we said last week, we're in for some like you were saying before, like it's got to get worse before it gets better. But I personally think like things are pretty bad, or have been pretty bad for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah,
and you could have said to me in 2019, when wow, what a year. That was a great year. But that things got to get worse before they get better, and I would have believed you, and I would have said they got worse, and now we're on the
but people don't realize how much money was made. Well, we all thought it was getting worse, so we all sat at home and whatever, and we dealt with this pandemic that they fed us. They all got rich. And it's like the analysis is right here. You can go back at the charts. You can look back at the last 2 years of what happened on any stock, on NASDAQ, the S&P.
Dude, Amazon alone went from $2 in March 2020 to now up to $112, and it went all the way up to $160. Right? It's like, yeah, so we are coming down, but like it's unbelievable.
People like, how was it inflated that much? How are all these markets inflated that much?
Yeah.
Maybe they printed 40% of the money supply in the last 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like the proof is all there. It's all right there. The data's all right there. It's it's crazy, and you can actually,
time to hop on.
You can get on the right side of it now, right?
Get on the right side of it.
Get on the right side.
Get on the right side of it, and just again more on this Elon Twitter thing. Like now that it's going to be Twitter, which is mainly used for social media, right? That's why everybody uses it, to be social with other people, to, talk about your favorite sports, whatever, right? Like with the social media integration into the blockchain, with the Web3 and crypto, like that's going to be the door that lets everybody in easily, because everybody already has a Twitter or knows how to use it, and it's just going to be a new little tab on the app that you already know and love, right? So you're not going to have to download a new app. You're not going to have to, go get a new wallet and shit. Twitter will have a wallet. You'll have a wallet in Twitter. You'll have, everything will be there. It's actually nuts.
You would be able to do anything that you needed to do that you can do in your regular life through any other app, all through the wallet.
And beyond.
Banking, bills,
social insurance number,
remittance payments, all your identification. You could have your
passports.
But you could, and your credentials, your school credentials,
everything.
Everything
you can think of could be on Twitter in the next couple years. That's basically what they're going for. And if it's on the blockchain, which it's not right now, if it does get moved to being on the blockchain, all that stuff becomes possible very easily.
I guarantee that would be in the plan. It would have to.
It's definitely in the plan.
Twitter's a mess the way
it's a mess. Absolute. Right now, Twitter is the worst app. It needs the most help for sure, but it for some reason happens to be number 2 against Facebook, right? As far as users and shit go. Or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I don't follow those numbers. I do not follow those numbers. But it's obviously everybody that does anything follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? That's what you hear. So it's obviously one of the big players. But it's run like an absolute shit show. So somebody definitely needs to step in and take control. And if they do, if someone like Elon comes in and takes control and has CZ on board, it's going to be a blockchain website. It's going to be like, what is Elon? He is probably has Asperger's or something like that. Like he's obviously a little bit different, right? Well, people like that have very low emotion.
I'm sure he's neurodivergent,
right? Very low emotion.
Way. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that he's Asperger's.
Well, they're focused, very focused and driven towards a certain goal, right? So, and if his goal is to do what he says he does, and make Twitter be a botless app, make it be an all-in-one type app, then that's what he means,
right?
Like that's what he means, and emotion isn't going to get in the way. Money obviously doesn't get in the way. Like I think what was it? What's his thing there? SpaceX, or one of the ones that he did a while ago, before he was big. I think he was like $2 billion in debt before he made anything, right? Like spend. He doesn't care about money. He just, oh no, I've got these ideas. He just meets with people and borrows their money, right? Because I've got so many ideas and I'm a driven person, and it's worked out for him. But like, you just think about, he literally has no like emotion towards, oh, I might lose money on this idea. Like when we're trading, we're like, man, we're in the red. We're in the red. What do we do? Sell. No, right? Like he's just like, no, it'll turn around.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm holding.
Yeah, I'm just holding now. Like I had a lot of because I haven't been in purchasing crypto for as long as you either. So it's like I had a lot of emotion and stuff involved, especially around December when everything crashed. It was like, oh, holy crap. But it's like, once you learn to stomach it and then, continue to purchase, because that was the plan. Like you got to remember, if you're buying or anything for an investment to better your life in the future, you need to have at least a 5 to a 10-year horizon on that, right? So
and a plan.
And a plan. So it was like, oh, it went up so fast last year. I was like, oh, and it would have been great to take some of them profits. But, having the 10-year horizon, I know it's going to come back to that point and way beyond in that 10-year horizon. So I'm not worried. I'm still buying more. My entry level is coming down, and I'm not. And it's just, it is what it is, right?
No worries. There's other things to worry about, man. Just keep DCAing and worry about your family and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You got anything else? I think that's pretty nuts.
I think that was.
Hey, let us know if you guys what you guys think about this Twitter.
If you made it this far, drop a comment. Let us know.
This Elon Twitter thing and what you see happening here in the near future. Because I think honestly, like things are like getting really close to like changing big time. You know what I mean? Like this whole talk about new normal and stuff like that over the past couple of years. I think we are going to step into the digital era for real here very soon.
Well, so people don't understand how fast it's happening too. It's like, whether you want to believe it or not, the adoption rate of this, the speed of this is twice the speed of the internet, and that was the fastest thing to ever happen to us, right? So
over 10 years, it changed everything.
And this is happening at almost double the speed. I think it's 113%. And the peak of the internet was 68% or something like that, right? So it's crazy. And you should just
be ready.
Just
be ready.
Yeah.
Be ready, DCA.
Yep.
Biggs and Bogs out. Peace.
Biggs Jigs and Bogs.
Oh, it was wide open the whole time.
No, that's all right. Maybe I'll crop it in a little bit.